games still to come this morning on Daybreak. She's faced a fair amount of criticism throughout her career, but tonight in a new documentary, Jodie Marsh looks back at the bullying she experienced at school.
At the top of the hour, Jodie Marsh has never been afraid of the limelight, and she's been both praised and criticised for her exploits like glamour modelling and bodybuilding.
But while she says she can deal with people's opinions now, it was the bullying she received as a teenager that saw her reach her lowest ebb, something she explores in a documentary tonight.
Every day, like incessant name-calling, just verbal abuse, being ugly, looking like a freak, it was just constant abuse about my nose and my face. And I often used to come back to my bag and my pencil case had been opened and they'd all spat inside my pencil case and zipped it back up.
Jodie is with us now. Horrific stories of the childhood, Jodie. How's it affected you through the rest of your life?
Well, oh God, being bullied changed my whole life. It changed my career, everything about me, because... And it's funny, but I tried to explain it in the documentary, but it's too hard to explain and put into words. But like when I was really young and before I was bullied, I was so happy. I was the happiest child. I was really confident. I was basically like a child version of what I am now. And, I was always smiling, really bubbly, like showing off and messing about. And then I went to school and got bullied, and I just became completely withdrawn, introvert, wanted to kill myself. It totally ruined my whole life.
Looking at the girl on the screen there, I can't see why you would be a victim of bullying. Looking back, do you know why it happened?
I don't know why exactly. It's really hard. There was a boy who, when I was 13, he said, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And I was so young, and I didn't even know what that was. I was just like... And I was a real geeky, straight A student. I was just head down and get on with my work. And I was just like, I think I just want to be your friend kind of thing, not being horrible. And then that was it. He turned on me and all his friends turned on me. And it was mainly boys that bullied me at my school. I did have a group of girls as well who sided with the boys, but it was mainly boys. And it was just, like I say on the programme, it was incessant. It was every day for years and years. And it was, you're ugly, you've got a big nose, you've got a dodgy nose. I had a nose job at 15 and then they called me rubber face, plastic face, don't stand in the sun, you might melt, Michael Jackson. I got all these insults, they just went... And sitting here now, it doesn't sound that bad somehow.
It's hard.
But it is when you're a teenager and you're going through puberty anyway, you're not necessarily that confident anyway, and then... Every single part of your face and body is just being pulled to pieces on a daily basis.
How did you deal with it, Jodie? Did you go and seek help? Did you talk to your mum about it, or did you lock yourself away and
I locked myself away, and I didn't tell anybody for a long time because I was too ashamed to tell anybody. It's very difficult. Again, people who are being bullied or have been bullied, they will know this feeling. It's very, very difficult to tell somebody at first because you feel ashamed that you're being bullied. So you don't actually want to tell anyone. I used to lock myself away. When eventually I did tell my mum and dad, I was such a wreck by that point. I couldn't go a day without just being in floods of tears. I just had no confidence whatsoever. I'd contemplated suicide numerous times. I'd written in my diary, I just want to kill myself, horrible things. They sent me for counselling, my mum and dad. I only had a couple of sessions. It did nothing for me. Because I sat there thinking, I remember she was quite an older lady at the time, and I sat there thinking, what on earth do you know about what I'm going through, and how can sitting here talking to you possibly help me?
Do you think you dealt with it by changing your image? Because you have done a couple of times in your career. Obviously, the glamour modelling was what we knew you for originally, and a very successful career at that. Did that have anything to do with bullying?
God, the whole reason I became a glamour model was because of being bullied. Because at school I wanted to be a vet, and I would have done that for sure. I would have gone to uni and been a vet, but I lost all faith in the education system because I had no help whatsoever. My bullies were never even reprimanded, even though my mum and dad, once they knew, they were up the school every week. And every single week. They were in the headmaster's office, they were trying to get something done, and it just felt like nothing ever was. So I lost all faith in the system and didn't want to go to uni. I was too scared to go to uni because I thought if I go to uni and get bullied there, I will end up topping myself. And aside from that, at that point, I had no friends whatsoever, and the only friends in my life were my mum and dad. So I didn't want to leave them, where everybody else was excited to go off to uni and, you know, wow, freedom out in the big wide world. And I was like, sod that, I want to stay with my mum and dad.
Wow, well, let's hope your story inspires people that are watching if they're going through the sorts of things you went through at childhood. Fascinating to talk to you, Jodie. Thanks for coming in.
Good luck with the bodybuilding as well. I know we haven't had a chance to touch on it yet. But
3 hours a day she's training, and that's not much.
Great.
It's normally 8, isn't it?
Competition's coming up as well, so all the best around.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in to chat to us. You can see Jodie's documentary. Sorry, Helen.
That's OK.
Documentary on Channel 5 tonight at 10 o'clock.
Any plans, Jodie, for 40 million? What would you do?
Oh, there's loads I'd do. I'd buy my own island and just disappear.
Linda would have a box